Hello, this is Roger here, and another video in my ongoing journey to get myself back to playing music. I had a autoimmune disease in December 2016 that put me into the hospital, and the disease destroyed my nerve tissue from the elbows down and from the knees down, so my feet and hands were both paralyzed and were unable to be used. That's been over 3.5 years roughly ago now, and in the past year or so I've been working to come back on and get the use of all my limbs. I got my right hand back not too bad. It's not great. The fingers are kind of curved and stuff, but they're straight enough to do a lot with. Certainly, I play the right hand piano with the right hand and stuff, and guitar as well. The biggest problem is my left hand, which, as you can see, hopefully, my fingers, they won't stretch out any more than this, and that's not enough to do much with. I need them to stretch out enough to where I can use my fingertips. To that end, I've employed the use of a number of different tools and inventions or whatever to try to get those to stretch out, especially on the on guitar and piano both. Certainly more on the, well, actually I use some devices for both of them. This is very handy sometimes for playing piano. It straightens my fingers out enough for me to be able to use them. These are temporary casts that were designed by my occupational therapist, and it puts my fingertips out where they can be used, rather than just having my fingers curled in. They can't do anything. And these some casts work well for me to play hit notes on a guitar fretboard too. I'll show you that later. And then, of course, the first thing I thought of doing with trying to play guitar was tuning to an open chord tuning, open E, and then that way I could finger pick notes out of the open E chord, and I would only have to actually finger notes on the fretboard that would be used like to make up the melody. Of course, I thought of playing slide with that too. I have a number of different things here. Standard chrome slide, which always found them a little bit bright for me, but I'm willing to use whatever works. Bottleneck slide, which I really do like the sound of glass. It's wonderful. A slide made by the Big Heart company, shape of a heart, such that when the slide touches the string, it only touches on the string on one point, which is a very precise slide. And my favorite, probably, this is a slide made by the Shube company, and it's a brass. I do like the sound of brass, but it's not as bright as chrome. It still has a nice sound now. This slide, back when my hands were normal, is great because you can play slide with this part of in this position, and get to another part of the song. You can just flip this around and still use your fingertip to play chords. And then, last but not least, I remember when my brother and I were younger, we first saw somebody play slide guitar, so first thing we did was go out to the garage and raise Dad's toolbox and the socket set specifically, which are just the sockets make great slide bars for playing guitar. So Dad wasn't too happy when he came home and found that his 7/16 inch socket was missing out. So I'll get some of this stuff on and then come back and play some guitar in a open E tuning. In this next song, or song that I play, I'll be playing in an open E tuning, and I'll be using a brass slide bar to pick a couple of the individual notes out of the melody. I'm also using these black things on my fingers. They're called finger sleeves, and very handy. What they say, the finger sleeves, each one has a gel pad on the bottom, or I wear it on the bottom side to hold my fingers up. It keeps my paralyzed fingers out of the way from interfering with the notes from the slide bar, and also the single notes that I'm picking out of the open E chord. And so forth. that's about what I've been up to date. As far as guitar goes, playing everything at this point up an open E chord and using that for the bass notes, etc., pick-wise, and then picking the individual melody notes out using either a slide or a fingertip. My next challenge will be to drop back to standard tuning and to try to, it'll be a big challenge to play chords. I'm not sure how that's going to go. My fingers don't do everything that my brain commands them to do. Playing with one finger is one thing, but making using fingertips on multiple frets to make chords is quite a bit more different, because the main fingertips I have are these two. I can employ this one a little bit, and this one simply doesn't work. So we'll see how it goes little by little.